Hard Rock.
Because unlike the Hard Rock Lunchbox, we actually do work around here for the top 20.
Hard Rock.
If I'm going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm going to have to earn it.
Hard Rock.
Yo, Elon Musk's dad worked in an emerald mine in South Africa. Like, he wasn't brown bagging it.
Hard Rock.
And if that sounds like a slam at Trump supporters, it is, because you're dumb.
Hard Rock.
Hang on.
Hard Rock.
Might not be a top 20, might be a top 19, might be a top 5.
Hard Rock Lunchbox.
What is up, everybody? It's time for the Hard Rock Lunchbox and the top 20 here on 99WNRR.com and on Strangerhood TV roughly a week later. I gotta say, man, I don't know where you are in the country, but I am in the Northeast, and it is goddamn beautiful today. We're looking at 90-degree possible tomorrow, which is just bananas for May, but it's kind of like the way we've been going, I guess. So let's give it up for the sun, everybody. Yeah. Just gonna turn up my cans for a minute. Yeah. Cans is what we in the business call cans. No, we call headphones cans. So I just like to say that because it makes me sound super cool. And honestly, there's just not many things that do. So, here's the thing. I don't actually have all that much to talk about today. I was trying to do something specific, and I ran into a lot of, trouble doing it. Plus, I had a whole bunch of other things, that were taking my attention away from what I was trying to do, so might not be a top 20, might be a top 19, might be a top 5. Who knows, top 7. I haven't had one of those in a while. But let's get to whatever it's going to be, shall we? I do have a bunch of new music, so that's going to be later on in the show, the box portion of the show. But let's get to the light housekeeping that we always do here in the top 20. Don't forget, there is a brand new episode of the Top 20 out today on Strangerhood TV, just like every other Thursday at midnight. You can check, or midnight 01, because it's in the morning, not to be confused with the night. Mid-morning? I don't know. I feel like we've had that discussion before. But it's the one where I'm basically critiquing Chris Waterbury's My 5, his 5 favorite chocolate bars, where we sort of talk about how all that went down. And then I basically take all sorts of authority with my position on it. So, it's kind of the way I like to see things go down. We also talked about Florida's new smelly attraction, which is that big blob of smelly seaweed, and I'm still grateful for Florida getting that. So I got a bunch of other stuff. We've got videos. Revel 9 has videos to put out. We've actually got 3 videos to put out, and I haven't put them out. And I'm probably going to end up talking about that on the top 20, so maybe I'll just save that for later. If it's not going to be this week, it'll probably be next week. So it's definitely something I'm dealing with, and that's usually what we use the top 20 for when we aren't complaining about politics. But if you wanted to stay on Strangerhood TV, which I would assume, why wouldn't you? You can check out the full interview with Sundressed on Bacon Is My Podcast. I'm actually going to go back and watch that. I like Sundressed a lot. I like them. I play them here all the time on the box. So I want to check out that interview and see how that goes. The Discussions and Drinks was yesterday. Now, they do talk a little bit about Guardians of the Galaxy, so I'm not going to watch that. I don't know that I'm going to get to the movies. Honestly, I think the last time I was in a movie theater, I was seeing a Harry Potter movie, and I remember holding the hand of one of our dear friend's daughter, Tara, and as we were walking into the Farmdale movie theater, and I just went to Tara's wedding last year, so it's been a long time. So probably not going to see it in the theater, so I'm probably never going to watch that Discussions and Drinks, to be perfectly honest with you. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. Always quality programming going on over there. The live stream is tonight on Twitch. You can check that out, twitch.tv/baconismypod. Looks like they're going to be pitching guest musicians and hopeful responses. So if you want to get your voices heard, seems like that's the time to do it. I mean, I don't know. I just text them, but I'm cool like that. The official drum Yeah, the drum through of Something Heavy's Separate Ways featuring our very own AJ is up on Strangerhood TV. Check that out. There's a drum through from Waterbury. I think Mean What You Say is still up there. So if you're interested to see how the drums actually go, check that out. There's always a bunch of guitar playthroughs and stuff up there. I think Frank is still posting some of those, which is actually kind of funny. Not that Frank is doing that. What's kind of funny because it's been sort of a conversation we've had at Revel 9 because we don't do that stuff. We've never done that stuff. Nobody seems to want to do that stuff. And it's funny because I keep saying it's funny. It's not funny, so I should come up with a new word because it's just not funny. It's never funny on this show. But I need to come up with something because I actually would totally do those things. I like doing those, but I am so loath to be on camera, just generally, but certainly since I've put on the extra 175 pounds that I seem to have put on over the past 2 years, I don't want to be on camera anywhere. Like the only time I really made that exception was for the Bimpy Awards last year, and of course here, where you can only see me from here up, it's fine. I just listen. Image issues are not just for little girls, man. We all have them, or we don't all have them. We're all capable of having them. I'm loaded with them, and that is why you don't see any Revel 9 guitar playthroughs, at least from me. But if I can figure out a way to do it without having my belly in the shot, then maybe I'll do that for you. If that's something that anybody would be interested, but I honestly don't know if anybody would. So you can let me know. You can let me know in the chat, 99WNRR, if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. You can always message the band, band at revel9.com, blah, 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 or just here at the Hard Rock Lunchbox. But, yeah, we are just light for content, for sure. But anyway, so here's what I actually wanted to do. I actually printed stuff out, right? I actually did some homework. Because unlike the Hard Rock Lunchbox, we actually do work around here for the top 20, which is bananas. If you were to ask me, like, which one of those shows are going to do the most work, I would definitely say the Hard Rock Lunchbox. But really, the Hard Rock Lunchbox, all it really does is listens to, like, new music that's coming out, listens to everything that gets sent in by listeners or new bands and stuff. Oh, there's a new band I got to check out. Something in May. Morning in May. I like them, actually. I got to start pulling some of their material, but that's for another show. So yeah, so it's not super hard work. It's listening to music, something I'd probably do anyway. But for the top 20, I tend to actually research stuff. Unless if I have something that I'm particularly stoked about, it's usually because I'm pretty informed on it. But I want to cover these two things really quick, and then kind of get into what I was trying to do this morning. So first of all, I want to talk about Dolly Parton. So I printed her out, not her, but like an article about her. And this is like the coolest thing. Like, I've always liked Dolly Parton, and I don't even know why. Like, specifically, I think at a very young age, I just intuitively knew that, like, she knows what's up. And, like, I like that. I like that in people. Like, I really just do. And maybe it was like her work ethic. Maybe it was like her moral ethic. Maybe it was the fact that she stood up to, adversity. Like, I don't really even know. But, like, it is so summarized in this one statement. So, here's some background. So Dolly Parton is putting out a rock record, right? She's a country artist. She's an incredibly successful country artist. She does a lot of country. She does a lot of crossover stuff that's always successful. She's just wicked talented. She's a very good businesswoman too, but she's really talented, and it really has her career, by the horns. So she's formidable. Like, everybody knows the name Dolly Parton for a reason, and it's basically because she's awesome at what she does. So that's it. So she's making a rock record. You need to know that because it's unusual, right? She's a country artist. She's making a rock record. But here, the reason she's making a rock record is because she got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you remember last year, she was nominated for it, and she respectfully requested to be removed from the nomination, she either requested to be removed from the nomination or respectfully rejected the induction of it because she said, I'm not a rock artist. And the rationale of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is always just stupid and shit anyway. But they basically said, but you've influenced all these other people, therefore you have a place in there. It's a bunch of bullshit. Like, they just really wanted to get some press out of it, and they're like, oh, cool, let's name her. She's, like, super popular. Let's bring that in. I mean, I wasn't in on the meetings, but you can kind of read between the lines on that. So they actually did not respect her request, and even though she respectfully made it, they disrespectfully denied it, so she got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All fine and good. But this is what makes Dolly Parton in my mind. So here's the article. I'm just going to read the first part of the article. Upon her induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last year, Dolly Parton announced her intention to record a rock album. Here it comes. Quote, "If I'm going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm going to have to earn it," she said at the time. Now, dude, I love that. I love everything about that. I wish everybody in the world felt that way. But of course, with, everybody's entitlement and everybody's award growing up and never getting their ass kicked after school, nobody feels like that. Only people that actually work for something from nothing appreciate that kind of stuff. And, I know people always talk about, Elon Musk and stuff. Elon Musk's dad worked in an emerald mine in South Africa. He wasn't brown bagging it to lunch, all right? So just shut up with your nonsense. This is somebody that actually worked for a living, built her career, and has sustained it, I guess, for 140 years. By the way, she looks great for a vampire, I suppose. But that kind of thing, we all should do that more. If I'm going to get this, I might as well earn it. Or I'm going to have to earn it. That's exactly what everybody should think, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention. If you didn't already think Dolly Parton was awesome, you were wrong then. If you think the same thing now, then you're also still wrong, because she's awesome, and that's the reason why. And the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention is something I literally just saw as soon as I came over here. This is Jack Dorsey. I believe that is the original dude from Twitter, right? And he's just, out of his mind, bananas. Just like a lot of, super rich, detached people that think the world is the way it is, and Elon Musk and Bezos and all these assholes, and all the Koch brothers are the one that's still alive. But this is the best. This is I don't even know how to describe. I don't even know. Uh-oh. Hang on. I am so goddamn annoyed. I can't even begin to tell you how annoyed I am. Welcome, again, to the Hard Rock Lunchbox and the Top 20. If the chat can hear me, can you just say so? Because I have been talking for 15 minutes to nobody. I don't even know what to say. I'm tempted to here I am. Yes. I don't know what to do. I just did 15 minutes of the top 20. I was talking about Dolly Parton and how awesome Dolly Parton is. I was also talking about the opening, whatever. But I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to skip all that, because it's too late in the show for me to redo it. And I cannot believe I just did that again, where it just was not transmitting. I don't know what the deal is, if it's a computer or whatever, but I'm going to apologize for everybody. And I think what I'll do is I'll just encourage everybody to watch the top 20 next week, since that's the only way you're going to see it. I will say what I talked about was the basic housekeeping, new episodes, new stuff on Stranger TV, and I was talking about how awesome Dolly Parton was. So yes, you should check that out, because the Dolly Parton stuff is cool. I was just about. I was talking about Jack Dorsey. Where'd it go? Anybody need to see my Jack Dorsey thing? Oh, here it is. So Jack Dorsey, this guy. This is what I was in the middle of talking when I realized it wasn't transmitting. But I'm glad everyone can hear me now. Dude, I was also talking about playthroughs and why Rebel 9 doesn't do them, and I was talking about all my body image issues and stuff like that. And I was saying, if you think we should do playthroughs anyway, just let me know. But feel like I've lost the speed on that. So Jack Dorsey, who I believe is the original founder of Twitter, he owns Block now. And this is super under the radar and doesn't affect most people, but what's funny about it is, so the mobile payment company Block was looking to buy Jay-Z's music streaming service Tidal, which is garbage, by the way. Great idea, but like, you're not going to do it if everybody's still going to be on Spotify, right? It's not going to work. So it's completely failing. It's got a bunch of problems, but it's a bad idea. But here's the greatest title, because it's from the tech dudes over at Vice. The title is, Judge Affirms Jack Dorsey's Right to Make Objectively Terrible Business Decisions. So great. So the mobile payment company Block was within its rights to buy Jay-Z's music streaming service Tidal, even if the deal sucked, a Delaware judge ruled on Tuesday. This is why I like Vice so much, because they talk like I talk. And I know that that's exactly why people like Trump, but like Vice, they tend to be a little bit smarter than Trump and all of Trump's supporters. And if that sounds like a slam at Trump supporters, it is, because you're dumb. You're statistically dumber than the rest of us. Sorry. Don't take it up with me. Take it up with your parents. I guess your cousins. They could be the same people. I don't know. But the paragraph goes on. In a victory for rich and powerful friends sitting on beaches everywhere, a Delaware judge has dismissed a lawsuit against Jack Dorsey and his mobile payment company Block, saying the board was within its rights to buy Jay-Z's music streaming service Tidal, even if the decision was objectively terrible and a result of Dorsey summering with the Carters in the Hamptons. Block had faced a shareholder suit from a pension fund as a result of the $300 million deal to acquire a majority stake in Tidal, which came as the streaming company was, quote, failing financially, and facing a criminal investigation in Norway related to inflated streaming numbers. Yeah, if you don't think people are inflating streaming numbers, I've got a bridge to sell you. Also, I've got a streaming service I might want to sell you. A particular issue is Dorsey's burgeoning friendship with Jay-Z and whether Dorsey and Block's board was within its rights to make a major acquisition, in part because of that friendship, even if the business reasoning did not make sense. Rich people be richin'. Like, I don't even know. It's just bananas to me. Man, I am so mad. I had talked about so much in the beginning of the show, and now it's just, like, gone. Like, just gone. I mean, like, I have it here. Like, I'll just... I'm so mad. Like, I really am just so distracted. Like, I'm trying to do all this stuff, and, like, I keep getting pulled in so many different directions, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to answer this, and I have to answer that, and I just can't even focus on what it is I'm trying to do, and, like, I soiled it. What I originally had come in here to talk about was the fact that I wanted to talk about immigration. Like, not even in a political way. Like, I hate Governor Greg Abbott. I think he's awful. I think he's a terrible governor. I think he is responsible for the deaths of people in Texas because of his failed policies. He certainly, when he let the power grid freeze over because he's just an asshole. Like last winter, Greg Abbott's an awful governor. He's just a political hack. He's a partisan hack, and he's just trying to make a name for himself. But I will tell you, the one thing he did do that was politically intelligent and probably not his idea, because he's like looking in his eyes is like looking in President Bush's eyes, like he was having trouble reading that child's book on 9/11, but like he started sending the migrants to New York City on buses, just 60 at a time, 100 at a time, and the plan really was like, cool, you don't think it's a problem, then we'll send it up there. And that's fine. Sanctuary City said, we'll take them. And he was like, all right. And now what it's doing is creating a major problem in New York City and the surrounding areas because there's too many migrants, right? Which is exactly the point Texas was trying to make. All these migrants are coming into the southern states, and we don't know what to do with them. And as we're seeing, if you're watching any New York-based news, the federal government is not helping at all. And it's a complete failing of the federal government, in my opinion, that they're not helping with these migrants. It's completely one thing to offer them migrants status, then it's a completely other thing to like have municipalities foot the bill. Like, I don't know much about the immigration policy, but I always thought it should be like, yeah, if you can come over here and work, like you have a visa, like for students and other jobs and stuff like that, great, do that. Fill out the paperwork, come here and work, pay your taxes, pay your share, but have a reason for being here. I don't want to like they're talking about putting all these migrants in New York City up in hotels, like Rockland County, like for 4 months. I'd like to stay in a hotel for 4 months. It sounds awesome. It sounds great. Like, it's probably not the nicest hotel, but I've spent some time in some pretty not nice hotels. I mean, I've been in a touring band for like 10, 15 years. Like, you know how many Super 8s and Motel 6s I've stayed in? More than I care to remember. So, like, I'm fine with that. But they're talking about all this stuff, and it worked. Like, it's creating this issue that's now an issue for New Yorkers. New Yorkers, generally speaking, weren't worried about migrants because we're not on the southern border. Yeah, we've got all those goddamn Canadians to worry about from time to time, but, like, yeah, that's all right. They look just like us, so it's pretty... But, I mean, like, it's a big deal. But here's the thing I wanted to talk about. Like, I actually tried to find out what the U.S. immigration policy is, and I can't. I can't. The internet is flooded with opinion and conjecture, and even when I go to the whitehouse.gov site to try and find out, like, it's so legalese and so sliced up that I can't quite figure it out. Some of the stuff makes a whole lot of sense. Like, they're talking about they give extra status or not extra, privileged status to countries that are in the middle of civil wars. Like, you're probably going to see a bunch of Sudanese people coming in pretty soon because they're there. They're in the middle of a civil war. Ukrainians got a favored status, and a lot of the Central American companies, like, there are warlords running those countries. So they have favored status. Mexico, not so much. We don't take in a lot of Mexicans. Mexico's doing kind of okay. Relatively speaking. It's not great by any means. Please, I don't need all your haterade because... that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm just saying that it's so hard to kind of figure out, like, what we actually have. And, I believe in having a comprehensive immigration policy. Again, it hasn't been my issue for years because it's not my issue. Like, those are what issues that the southern states should really kind of have. But I do know that the Republicans are saying absolutely nothing in Congress about it. They just keep saying we should tighten border security and that we should deport more people. But we aren't. And aren't they in charge of the House? Like, I don't... The only thing I can see the Republicans doing so far is defaulting on our debt and passing abortion legislation. Like, I haven't seen anything for anything, right? Like, the only thing I saw is that Biden was sending 1,500 troops to the border to shore up Border Patrol. Like, sounds like he's doing something, and nobody's doing anything else. So I guess what I'm asking, because I'm kind of running out of time, is that if anybody's got any resources, like real resources on what the official immigration policy is of migrants to our southern border, send it to me. I want to know. hardrocklunchbox@gmail.com. I'm trying to figure this out because I want to know. And the reason I brought this up at all is because as I was sitting there thinking about it, I realized this is something I don't know, and I want to know more about it. And I realized that inclination of not knowing something and wanting to learn about it is super rare. It's been rare for a long time, for most of my lifetime, and it is incredibly rare now because nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that work, and nobody cares to do that work. And the reality is that the majority of people, I think, the majority of people in this country right now, especially on the right, aren't interested in facts. They just want talking points to repeat. I see it all the time. I see it every day. But if you really want to learn something, you actually have to want to learn something. And how many people actually want to do that anymore? Not many. But there is at least one. I don't know. I'm going to play some music. I'm going to sort my life out. I'll figure out some things. I fixed the sound. You're welcome, by the way.